Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Paranormal, the New Normal. I'm your host, as always, Jeremy, here trying to make the world seem a little more normal. Does it ever really happen? Nah. And it's going to happen today? No, I doubt it. But we'll see. You never know. I could be surprised as well on this not so bright fall morning, I guess. I don't know. Is it fall yet? I don't know. But I am joined by a guest, as always, to help try and make this world seem normal. And we'll see. But my guest today is Ros Place, a guardian angel communicator, and you know how much I love this topic, everybody. So let's get right into it. How you doing this morning? Yeah, still waking up. Folks.
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. I'm great. I'm really happy to be with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. It's my pleasure to have you on. Oh, the first question I usually ask everybody on the show is, what brought you down this spiritual path?
Great question. So I was born with a special gift, although I must say it didn't feel like a gift for a long time. It was something I had to grow into, and that was communicating with angels. Angels are my earliest memory. I can remember vividly being a little baby in my crib, in my bedroom, and seeing all of the colours and the angels all around me. So they're my earliest memory. So it's really something that I was born with. I was born on the 4th of the 4th, 74, so like 444, which is quite interesting. Yeah, and I was born into a family. I mean, I like Harry Potter. My kids like Harry Potter as well. So I say affectionately, I was born into a family of muggles, which doesn't mean non-magic people. It means non-spiritual people. So that was challenging. And yeah, I've always been able to do it. I haven't always known what to do with it. And it's a tool, you see. Being able to communicate with angels is a tool. And what's really fulfilled me now is being able to teach other people how to do it as well, which wasn't something I could do for many, many years and used to be something that I really struggled with. So since birth, shut down at various times in my life. When I was a teenager, I got to 11, and I thought it was the most normal thing in the world until I got to age 11. In England, which is where I'm from originally, at age 11, you go to a different school system. So up until age 11, you're at junior school and you're with kind of like younger children. And I felt really comfortable in that. I was really able to be myself and play and talk to the angels and play with the angels. And then I got to senior school, which is secondary school, which in England you go from age 11 to age 16 or age 18 now if you want to stay on and do A-levels. And I realised that this was not something that everybody else could do. And I didn't want anything to do with it. And I remember standing in the playground. So I'm in a suburb of London in a comprehensive school, and all the kids running around me. And I'm standing outside the geography huts. And the geography huts were like these prefabricated like classrooms that were kind of like left after the war, I think, when there was so much bombing. Yeah. So I'm standing outside this prefab, and I just said, I spoke to Tristan, who's my guardian angel, and I said, that's it, no. And I closed the whole thing down. And it wasn't until I got to age 31, there were a few little moments where it opened up again, which I can go into if you like. But when I got to age 30 or 31 and I gave birth to my first son, I've got 2 boys, 2 teenagers, it's when it all opened up again. I was just so vulnerable and so open that was when Tristan reconnected with me. And I'm 50 now, so for 20 years, I've been working with people professionally. And for the last 3 years, teaching people how to channel their own guardian angel. Because up until then, I was doing it all for them. People would come to me, they'd have questions. I love helping, so I loved getting answers for people from their guardian angels. But it got to the point where it was just too much. I was a mum, I own 2 businesses. One of them is helping people to channel. And I just felt exhausted. And I think I see that a lot actually in the spiritual world, in inverted commas. I see a lot of people who don't look like they're in great shape, who look exhausted, drained, worn out. And I think it's because they do so much for other people and they don't teach people how to do things for themselves. And it was a very pivotal moment for me where Tristan showed me how to show other people how to channel, how to have the tool of channeling. And that's what I do now. So,
Yeah, I mean, it is a common thing. I've noticed it myself too, even having 200 plus guests in this realm, that a lot of them seem like they are drained. A lot of them always seem like they're tired, and I can imagine like having the other side pull on you so much is going to bring you down. I mean, it's and I mean, well, plus being a parent too just doesn't help anything. But that's for true. That's true right there. But I could because as you saw pre-live, I have two of my own and a third on the way in about 15 days. So
oh, congratulations.
thank you. Yes, these are some of the last interviews I'm doing for a while before I go on hiatus for a bit. But all right. The first question I gotta ask is,
Yeah.
because every answer is different for this, what do the angels look like to you?
Not like you may have seen them. So angels are often personified, right? So in churches and oracle cards
Mm-hmm.
and all over the show. Angels are shown as men, like Archangel Michael, this very muscular, fabulous looking, normally very handsome man with wings. And guardian angels are often shown as like almost like little babies, like little cherubs very often. And that personification is something which happened to help us really to get to be able to connect with angels, because it's very difficult to understand angels in the sense that they are not physical. So they've never been physical. They've never been in a physical body. Your guardian angel is with you from conception in this lifetime to help you to fulfill your purpose. And because of that, your guardian angel is energy, is a vibrational frequency. And that shows itself in color. So your guardian angel is oval. And I think maybe the oval is maybe where the wings came from, because when you look at the oval images, and I've got them, on my website, if anyone wants to look at what they look like, the ovalness is like the head, the feet, and like the wings, like the up wings that you often see. But they are a vibrational frequency, and they are colors which hold a vibrational frequency which is unique to you. And these ovals are concentric bands. So right at the beginning, right in the middle, you've got this beautiful oval shape, which is your inner strength. And then there's another band second out from that, which is your relationship strength. You've got a third band, which is your creative strength. A fourth band of color unique to you, which is your life's work strength. A fifth band, which most people have, or no, sorry. I'll talk about numbers of bands in a moment, because that's probably interesting for your audience to hear about. A fifth band,
Sure.
which is your freedom band, and then a sixth band, which is your helping others. A seventh band for some people, which relates to research and growth and study. And in one only case in my entire life so far, 8 bands, which is about harmony and the creation of harmony. So they are they're oval, and inside of that oval energy is a different colour. And you have between, well, the lowest I've ever seen, or the smallest number I've ever seen, is 4 bands of different colours. And one of those was a VP on a record label. The other one of those was actually a billionaire. Very interesting meeting that was through my work. I have 5. A lot of people have 5. Some people have 6. Eddie, my husband, has 6. Both my sons have 5s, actually. Eddie has 6. Some people have 7s. Real research, exploring, spiritual seekers, information hungry, never satisfied, always wanting to learn and know more. And 8, as I say, is the only. I've only ever met 1 8 before. But those colours are unique to you. And those colours look like colours, because they are, but they hold a vibrational frequency which has a unique meaning to you. And that unique meaning is a life purpose strength. So your guardian angel is the energy of your life purpose and is the energy of all of your strengths, everything that you've come here with to help you to fulfill your purpose. And embodying your guardian angel, living life with your guardian angel, means that you embody those strengths, and it means that you are with your guardian angel co-creating your life purpose, because you don't have to do it on your own. So that's what they look like.
Which, I mean, the fact you don't have to do it on your own is always is just so relieving when you hear it, because it's just so many people in this world feel like they have to do it on their own and that no one's there for them. I mean, in the human world, that could be 100% true. I don't know you. I don't know people's stories. I can't tell. But I always felt like something is out there. I am not as my listeners know, I do not believe in organized religion in the slightest. I do not like organized religion. I think it's a bad thing in history, basically. But I do believe in the spiritualness of the world. I believe that in the universe, that the universe is looking out for us. So it's it's a complicated thing. It's a complicated thing. I keep saying I got to write a book one of these days, but it's a complicated thing to try to explain to people what my belief system is. But yeah, I mean, I guardian angels though. I mean, as much as they are part of religion, I can't dismiss them fully. I never could, because it seems like there's something to it. Yeah, it ain't the freaking angels you see painted on church windows and all that. No, I don't think it's that. I mean, I've heard many tales of 6-winged angels that look kind of horrifying too, and I've heard
Mm,
actual people say that that's what they see when they see an angel.
wow.
So I don't know if those are actually angels or some other unknown extraterrestrial we haven't quite identified yet. Maybe not. I don't know.
Mm,
But I mean, I think of angels. I think of Castiel from Supernatural. Come on now. But of course, but I'd have to imagine that they wouldn't really be physical. They'd have to be more spiritual, more even just light. Like the fact that you said colors, like made perfect sense, because they are just light beings, from what I've been told.
yeah.
And but I want to get to these angel numbers more, because I was kind of getting I like things that make sense in like numerical order and everything, and it's just the way I think, and numbers like that kind of light up me, especially when synchronicity like that. I mean, your birth date alone was like, I was like, oh, synchronicity and a half right there. Oh my God.
I know. It's funny, isn't it? Numbers are, seeing numbers and numbers are one of the signs that your guardian angel is really trying to communicate with you. Like, they're trying to get a message through to you all the time. So if you keep seeing like 11, 11, 22, 22, and 33 and 44 and all different types of repeated numbers, it's your guardian angel really trying to communicate with you. And I've created a little guide for people to begin to understand what that is. And, if anyone's interested in that, perhaps it might be something you put in the show notes, because
Oh, of course.
it is a message. They are messages from your guardian angel. They're at the beginning of communication, and they're not, what's the word? So if you were to look up, for example, angel numbers, they're very kind of, how would I describe it? they're not really very substantial. Angel numbers are, if you read about them, they're kind of vague. They're not very clear. They're not very specific. But as messages from your guardian angel, they are very clear. So, for example, 11, if you keep seeing 11, that is a message from your guardian angel to say, stop trying to do everything on your own. Start asking for help. And once you start to understand those messages and you start to pay attention to what you were thinking about when you saw that number, or what you'd been doing when you saw that number, or what was going on in your life when that number kept popping up, that's how you start to be able to understand what they're trying to tell you. So it's a great starting point. Numbers are vibrational frequency.
Yeah.
They're energy, and they are also a way in our real lives that your guardian angel can start to communicate with you because you see them everywhere.
I mean, it's funny because I was told a few months ago, actually, by another guest that I have a guardian angel, that his name is Tony, but I have had no luck trying to connect with him or it, I guess. But I've had no luck trying to connect with it. And I mean, it's curious though, because I also talk to people on the show who don't believe in guardian angels or any of that, or angels in general, and it's hard. It's a lot of different conversations, but I mean, I kind of felt like this person was on something though that told me that I do have one, and I'm like, makes sense. I'm like, but how do I communicate with it? That's the point that like doesn't come across easy. And for anybody else out there like me, what is the best way to open communication with your guardian angel?
Yeah. So I would start with numbers, right? Because if you're seeing numbers or look for numbers, have your eyes open because they are really clear messages. All double sequences, all repetitions of numbers are a message from your guardian angel. So if you see an 1111 or 11s, like I said, that's like stop trying to do it all on your own. Start asking for help. If you see 22, if you keep seeing 22, 22, 22, that's a message from your guardian angel that's saying, stop pushing, stop trying to force things, stop trying to make everything happen, start allowing. And allowing is something that I teach people to do when they learn to channel. And that communication, that beginning of the conversation really does start by noticing those things and validating it for yourself. Because one of the things that I really enjoy doing is like going back to this whole thing of I used to give people information all the time. People like, so I've always really loved helping, right? It's
Yeah.
like whenever anyone says, it's like my reaction to everything. It's like, oh, can I help? Like with my kids, with people. It's like, how can I help? Just tell me how I can help. You know, do you need some help with that? I just, there's something good about being able to help, and I really enjoy being helpful. But I think you've got to really start thinking about what help is and how help can be given to people in a way that's truly useful to them. So I used to do the thing where I would give people information all the time. But what I really enjoy doing now is teaching them so that they can get their own information and their own validations. So you're
I
not
mean,
telling people, and that's really important. And numbers is a great way of starting to. So if your guardian angel is with you, helping you, start to work with them with those numbers and start to piece things together and find the path, find the validations, gain confidence in what's coming through those numbers. That's what I would recommend as the starting place to be, because people talk a lot about heart-centeredness. People talk about being in your heart, and that is extremely important. But you've always got your mind in that process, and your mind needs evidence. Your mind needs to be satisfied that something that you're being presented with is true, and that's right. I believe that that's correct. I believe that we require proof and validation and truth so that we can fully give ourselves to a process. And you can't be told that or given that. You have to find that for yourself.
I mean, the way you do it, I like it. It's kind of the whole teach a man to fish and he'll have fish for the rest of his life. I mean, like type of thing. Like that's kind of how your methodology is in my head, and it makes sense because otherwise people are just gonna come to you every time they have an issue and want another reading because which I can understand why nobody in the spiritual realm wants that. Nobody wants someone who's so dependent on them that they talk to them every day, multiple times, just to answer questions. Like no, it's you need to learn how to deal with problems on your own, people. Like it's
Well,
just,
I mean, I enjoy helping people
of
so
course.
they can get their own answers. And the thing that's fantastic about the tool of channeling, when you can channel, you can get answers about everything that interests you. So, like, for example, some people who I mentor to channel want to learn to channel because they want to do things like astral travel and they want to really be able to lucid dream, right? And I have other people who want to learn to channel because they want to be able to hold a book in the palm of their hands and know whether it's worth reading, know whether the resonance of the energy in this information has integrity, where it comes from. And I know other people who want to learn to channel because they want to address things like day-to-day things. Like, for example, just a couple of days ago, I mean, I channel Tristan for lots of different things. Tristan's actually showing us how to travel the world. So we're traveling the world as a family. We left England 2023, June 2023. Tristan said, right, you're going and I'm going to show you where to go. So Tristan is showing us how to travel the globe through grid references. And currently there's a line that we are shown that we need to follow and stay within, which goes all the way from the top of the, globe. And that's another important thing. It is a globe that we are on and in, which I think is perhaps significant and maybe interesting for your audience. And something that my kids were asking me about in relation to what is the world, what is it? Is the earth flat? Is it flat?
That's one conspiracy I can't get behind. Is the whole flat Earth.
Globe.
I don't understand. I don't understand how people couldn't even believe that for a second.
But they do. And the great thing about channeling is that you can ask your guardian angel all of these questions. So we're traveling through grid references, and Tristan took us to Peru 6 months ago. No, more than that, 8 months ago. And we've been traveling and going to ancient sites and channeling information about ancient civilizations, about timelines, incredible information about. He's given me information about an ancient civilization called the Yetwa, who were extinguished 12,000 years ago, but existed for tens of thousands of years, connected to the light being. And he's communicated to me about construction of ancient sites, how it was done, why it was done. So when we go to these places, we're able to channel this information. And that's interesting to me, but it's really interesting to Eddie. My use for the tool of channeling is teaching other people how to do it, and also teaching people how to create their own businesses, life purpose businesses, profitable life purpose businesses, because I really enjoy doing that. And people use the tool of channeling to find truth and answers. Like there's one lady who I taught to channel, who before we'd finished the program, she was verbally channeling. And that's the other thing. It used to take a year to teach people how to verbally channel, and now it only takes 12 weeks.
Really?
12 weeks to verbally channel your guardian angel. And she uses her channeling tool. Before she finished the training, she was verbally channeling, and she said, there is a crime that has occurred, and I know that what the world is being told is not true. Because she channeled her guardian angel and she got very specific details and information about what had happened. And it was like, right, so here's where you have to consider what you want to do with that information. Like,
I'm curious as hell. I'm curious as hell as to what crime it is, because there's a lot of crimes in this world, but it's I have ideas of what you could be talking about, but I don't know if I'm right or not.
but then it's about knowing that we all have a unique role, knowing that we all have a unique opportunity to contribute positively to the expansion of the universe, which is what Trasan says. But channeling, getting your own answers, asking your own questions, following your own interests, not doubting and second guessing all the time, but getting them for yourself and having them validated in your real life and using them in your real life is why I get up every morning and why I love doing what I do. But back to a real life, well, not they're all real life examples, but back to a daily life example, which I started to talk to you about. So I can go to ancient sites and I can channel information about ancient civilizations. I can teach people how to channel. I can help people to create profitable life purpose businesses. I can use that tool that I have in many different ways. But for about a week, I had a really swollen tummy. Like, it really hurt. It was really swollen, like a bowling ball in my belly. It was so uncomfortable. And I kept saying to Eddie, like, I don't know what it is. Like, I just don't know why my stomach's so uncomfortable. It wasn't wind. it wasn't it wasn't that I had, like, you know, any kind of, like, anything that I could work out. And when you're at my age, so I'm 50, and you start thinking, oh, it's the menopause, oh, it's perimenopause, it's hormonal things, and you start going around this whole rabbit hole. And Ed said to me, why don't you just ask Trasan? And I forget. Yeah. So I was like, right, I'd ask Trasan. And he said to me, you know that massive bowl of chia, platanos, and avocado that you've been having every morning? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, is that? And I stopped eating it. And now I no longer have a swollen up tummy. And it sounds so, it's such a daily thing, but you can get, like, so many people can get completely trapped in their heads about what health things, all different types of things. You waste so much time and energy trying to find the answers, trying to find the truth, work out what's the next step. And when you channel your guardian angel, you don't have to do that anymore. You're not on your own. They're with you to help you to fulfill your purpose so that you can contribute positively to the expansion of the universe. And it's pure guidance with your highest guide. It's who you were born with to live life together. And the connection process that I teach means that it is secure and safe. And it is a connection that you create for yourself that puts you in the driving seat, so that you are in control, if you like. Not in control in the way that we think of in the world, where we have to kind of keep a tight hold on everything. But you are in the driving seat. You say how this is. You say how this goes. And through that honoring of the process and safety and security and evidence and truth and validation, that's how people transform their lives and also have the opportunity to fulfill their purpose. And by doing so, contribute positively to the world.
Which it's a good purpose. It really is. And I mean, the traveling to ancient sites part, that would fascinate me to no end. I'd probably be like your husband on that. That's the information I would want if I was actually talking to a guardian angel. Is I want I want the hidden history that we're not learning in school, that we're not reading about, that we're not hearing about in the news. Like, I want the real history of Earth. And I have to ask this, since you've been learning about these ancient sites, were extraterrestrials involved in
Yes.
creating? Have they mentioned any
They
specific races?
so they could be. They are what we would call and not think of as extraterrestrials. They are from another part of the universe. And so much of what we have an understanding of from the context of what fits together as humans requires a leap. So we have a way of understanding things. We have a way of piecing together what is possible and realities. But there are experiences that occur and that are, which we don't have a context for. We don't have an understanding of. It doesn't exist. I'll give you an example. So, with guardian angels, when I connect people with their guardian angels, so that is something that I do. I will still connect people with their guardian angels. I will do a guardian angel reading, and all I offer is guardian angel readings and teaching you how to channel. That's it. No one-to-one sessions. No, can you answer this question? Because I am sincerely and genuinely interested only in empowering you to channel your own guardian angel. I'll connect you with your guardian angel, but communication is something that has to come from you. So when I do guardian angel readings, sometimes a color comes through which doesn't exist here. It doesn't exist. I see colors which there is no reference for, no name for, no way of describing, because it's not here. And that is what a lot of the extraterrestrial, if you might call it that way, sometimes it's referred to as the light being. So in the case of the Yetwa, who were the ancient civilization who built Sacsayhuaman in order to be a power station, harnessing the energy, they connected with the light being, and they brought wisdom to the human civilizations that existed at that time. But so much of what happened, there is a challenge in terms of being able to communicate it in words and with concepts that are understood by us as humans, like the colors. They don't exist. The words don't exist. The way of describing it doesn't exist. The thing doesn't exist. It's a whole. And another way of explaining that is that with the Yetwa, who were the ancient civilization who connected with the light being, the way that they were able to create these gigantic monolithic structures was through a process that we have no context for and a way of understanding. So Tristan explains it in a way which is kind of parallel, runs in line with AI and virtual reality. That's what he calls it, virtual reality. Virtual, he calls it, says it in a really funny way, virtual reality. Because we, in virtual reality, are able to do things and make stuff happen that our physical bodies it would be impossible for us to do. And it was kind of like that, but not like that.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense that there had to be a way to create some of these things that we can't figure out. Because, I mean, look at the pyramids, for example. The best idea we came up with is they rolled everything on big logs. Yeah, I don't think somehow that's quite how it was done. That feels a little too simplistic. But I don't know. It's just, and we do call them extraterrestrials or ultra-terrestrials, even if they came from another dimension. But it's light beings. I've heard that before too. I mean, it makes sense that these ancient and the ancient civilization you keep mentioning what I think you call them
Yetwa.
Etwa.
Yetwa. Yetwa. Yetwa.
What country were they in? Well, as we know them now.
So I visited Peru, and the connection that I have with Yetwa is in Peru.
Okay.
And through what is known now as parts of South America. But they were connected to other ancient civilizations throughout the globe. We know.
I would say it's been long hypothesized that all these ancient civilizations did talk to each other somehow, even though
Telepathically.
even though for a long time we thought they were all isolated and not.
Uh-uh. No.
But I mean, there's so much proof of things being similar across the world at that time that how could they not be talking somehow? It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. And it was like a grid. It was like a grid. And Sacsayhuaman was one of the power stations that Tristan describes as energy being held in silos. So the energy was held in silos. And Sacsayhuaman was a power station. It was a power station. And it was charged from light being, and that energy was harnessed and it was sent to other parts of the globe. Remember that word again, the globe, where it was required. And communication between communities and between civilizations was telepathic. And it was as easy and straightforward as it is for us to pick up the phone now. But you see, so much died. 12,000 years ago, there was a catastrophic, seismic, absolutely extinguishing. Tristan talks about it as extinguishing event. And so much of what was known, existed, was washed away. It doesn't exist anymore. And with that, the knowledge, with that, the evidence. But you can still see it, like places like Sacsayhuaman in Peru, and we'll be traveling and seeing other places. And in actual fact, we're going back. So I'm not one for going back anywhere. I like to just go forward. It's just my way. I think, well, there's so much to see, so many places to visit. Why would you go back anywhere? You just keep going to new things. But we're going back. We spent time in Cusco. Cusco is 3,400 meters above sea level, right? So it's high altitude. And it's well known for Sacsayhuaman and also Machu Picchu, which has information that I will share in the future. That is not what we have been told it is.
Of course not. Nobody in the paranormal realm ever thinks that these ancient sites are just what we've been told they are. They're always something. There's something greater to them all. I mean, they were built for a reason. They weren't just built to be monuments or become landmarks eventually. They were built to have purpose. A lot of us believe that. But
and also, you see, there was the original. So when you think about in terms of like when things were built, so there were these energy centers. Like, so using the example of, so first of all, just to finish that point, going back to Cusco, going back to these ancient sites, I have to be there. It's just such a pull that I've never had in my life. And all the family feel the same. They love going back to that place. So the thought of going back to that place, they loved being in that place. So the interesting thing is that when you go to these ancient sites, so the way that it's shown in the real world, if you like, is that people will kind of be like, hey, isn't it weird that like there's these really massive stones, these monolithic stones that are part of a layer of construction, and then on top of that you'll see other building which isn't quite so impressive. And I will say that word. I know it's controversial, but it isn't. When you see it, it's different. It's human. It's more explainable. It's still impressive. It's still incredible, but it's different. You see like these stratas, but what you don't see is the original energy center which started it all, which is what not just the original Yetva in the case of Sacsayhuaman were drawn to, and Tambonachai and other ancient sites, but the ancient civilizations which we have an historical memory of and are recorded were drawn to after. They were drawn to these places. So there's a history in these sites, which is evidenced by what you can see through ancient constructions, monolithic statues, and not statues, but monolithic structures, and then the other civilizations who built on that. But what you don't see is the energy of that place, which drew all things to it and continues to.
And it makes sense. I mean, There's a reason we still have such a fascination with all these sites. If they weren't meant to be important, we to this day we wouldn't be drawn to them. But it's been, I mean, Machu Picchu and the pyramids, that all that, even the Grand Canyon, have all been places that like people have been since I was a kid. Like people have always talked about constantly. You will learn about them all in school. You because we want to know more, but we just don't have the well, most of us don't have the ability to find out more about them.
But do you know what's really interesting is that we are told about these things, and we are told that we should visit these things. So, for example, you go to Peru, and literally from the minute you get off the plane, and every single conversation that you have with everybody, their first question is, "You going to Machu Picchu? You going to Machu Picchu?
Really?
You going to Machu Picchu?" Yeah, it's how many? It's just constant. Even vendors like on the street, like me. One of the things I love about Peru, I love Peru. Like I just love Peru. I love the people. I just love the energy of Peru. It's fun. It is light. It's grounded. They have traditions. There's some places you just go in the world and it's just your vibe. It's just your thing. I love it there. And everybody's asking you about Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu, Machu Picchu, you know, like, been to Machu Picchu, been to Machu Picchu. I did not want to go to Machu Picchu. I had no interest in going to Machu Picchu. I really didn't want to go, right? I just did not want to go. Some people say it's on my bucket list. I've had people say it's on my bucket list. I did not want to go. I had no interest in going. I did not go to Peru to go to Machu Picchu. I did not want to go. And in fact, I can remember friends years ago, like it was like a bit of a, oh, I'm going to Machu Picchu. And I can remember seeing the pictures and I just did not want to go. But because at the time we were doing some videos about ancient sites, it seemed, I said to Eddie, we can't come to Peru and not go. It's like conspicuous by its absence. And I said to Tristan, I really don't want to go. Shall I go? And he said to me, because he knew that I wanted information and he knew that I wanted knowledge and he knew that I wanted truth. And he said, just go. So from the minute that I got, and it's a performance to get there, such a performance, right? So you have to get a bus from Cusco. You have to get a bus to Ollantaytambo, which, by the way, is beautiful. I love Ollantaytambo. Such incredible energy. These beautiful rose granite monoliths. Oh, I love Ollantaytambo. So you have to get the bus to Ollantaytambo, and then from Ollantaytambo you get the train, and you get the train to I think it's called it's like Machu Picchu Pueblo, or like Agua Caliente, like warm waters. It's like a spa place, and you get off the train and it's just like woof. It's like you walk through this market, and the market is immense, and all it is like tourist things and knickknacks. And that's I understand. You know, I understand that tourism is a massive industry, and I've got no problem with that whatsoever.
Oh, of course.
So you're in from the minute we arrived. So the minute I got on the bus, I felt sick. I felt really sick and really hot. And it's not hot. It's really lovely actually. It's really sunny, but it's a lovely temperature there. It's generally quite cool. And I was just like, I said to Eddie, oh my God, I just feel so sick. I feel so claustrophobic. I just really don't like this. And it was a really unpleasant feeling. And he's like, you know, it's just fine. And I settled myself down and just breathe, and it's all good. And Tristan's like, you know, it's fine. All is well. We got on the train. The closer we got to Machu Picchu, the worse I felt. We got to the town, stayed in the hotel, and it just getting worse, this feeling of nausea, this feeling of unpleasantness. And it wasn't altitude. We've been at 3,400 meters and we're going down in altitude. And I've flown from 3,400 meters to sea level, so it's not an issue around that. I'm pretty sure that Machu Picchu is around 2,000 meters, something around that, which is actually the ideal. From 2,000 meters is supposed to be, or is in 2,000 meters from Tristan is like the ideal level to live at if you can choose to be anywhere, because of many different factors, the altitude, lots of different things. And I just felt worse and worse and worse. And to cut a long story short, and I don't want to leave you on a cliffhanger here, but to cut a long story short, you can get a bus. So the next morning we wake up after being at our hotel and having a really nice morning, meeting some really great people, just like, just literally like, can't eat anything. I just feel sick. It's horrible. Have you ever had like a stomach ache or like stomach bug where it feels menacing? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep, I do. I do. I know exactly what you mean. It's miserable.
Like what menacing thing. And you can get a bus in the morning. So I'm chatting in the morning and like, oh, how are you getting up to Machu Picchu? Because you have all like your ticket times and everything. And so people are saying, oh, we're going to get the bus up there. And I said to Eddie, I really want to walk. I really want to walk up there. I think it's going to help me. I think I just want to be in nature. And it's a really nice walk. It's a hardcore walk. I'll say that. You have to walk up these never-ending steps. The buses take like a circular kind of route around the mountain, or but you have to walk up. You can't walk up that road. You'd end up getting run over and pushed off the edge of a cliff. So you have to cross the road and you have to walk up the steps. And I'm pretty fit. I'm feeling worse and worse the nearer we get. We get to the top. I feel so terrible. I sit over the edge of the wall in this kind of like shaded area where all the guides are sitting and waiting. Everyone's just kind of having a morning snack. And it was funny because in the morning when we were packing our rucksack, you can't really take anything into Machu Picchu. You can't take a tripod. You're not allowed to take any kind of like, you've got to have a certain weight of bag. It's really strict what you're allowed to do and take. And Ed said, we'd brought our hiking boots with us. And Eddie had put my hiking boots in a plastic bag, just so it didn't get mud all over the rucksack. And the bag was sitting on the side, the plastic bag. And Ed said to me, should we take that? It was a pretty random question. I was like, yeah, all right, whatever. Take the plastic bag, that's fine. And I said to Eddie when we got to the top, after climbing up, feeling worse and worse and worse, have you got that plastic bag? And he gave me this blue plastic bag. And when I release the videos, you'll see it. I just felt I was sick. And we walked into Machu Picchu, and then I was just floored. I had to sit down, and I could not move. And I carried that little blue bag around with me, and I just kept being floored, having to sit down, sit down, sit down. And I said to Eddie, I just want to go. So we walked around the site. We did some videos. I wanted Eddie to do some videos. And I was like, we're here. I've got to get some videos. I've got to get some pictures. I've got to get some, film in. This is like, I'm not coming back for more reasons than you might think. And then we left. And I was so unwell. Like, we walked down the first flight of steps and I was so unwell. And I don't want to be too graphic about it, but I was just so unwell. And we got to the bottom eventually, God knows how. And I just said to Eddie, I want to go to sleep. Please let me go to sleep. And he found like a campsite, which was lovely, down the bottom where I felt much better. And I just laid on the grass and I just slept. And he's got all these photographs of me. That's totally not me. If anyone who knows me knows that I'm not the type of person to just lay down and go to sleep in the middle of the day in a field in a campsite. And it's just not me at all. And then we struggled to get the bus home. Then you got to do the same thing. You got to get the train. You got to get the bus. And the further away I got, the better I felt. So I tell you that because there are a lot of places that we're shown, places that perhaps because it's old, we might think is good and lovely. And every single other place I've been to, Jeremy, has been light-filled and wonderfully energizing and so positive. But it is interesting to have an experience of that kind. And it's something that when you are tuned in that way. And I knew that it was going to be something of that kind, and I'm grateful for that experience. And
Yeah.
channeling my Machu Picchu book is one of the things that I'm going to do. Sit down and channel that information. It was a
Did
long
you
story.
ever did you ever find out from Tristan why you felt that way the whole time?
There's an energy there, is what I would say. There's an energy there.
Is it I mean, I don't think. Oh, it can be. So I guess. Was it a bad energy? Like,
There's a core of energy there, which is something which I didn't gel with, something which I didn't jam with, and something which I'm still bringing myself back to a place where I can really get that information, sit down and get that information through. Um, it was really intense. I've never had an experience like that before. But it's interesting because I've spoken to other people who have visited particular places that other people go to and don't have any kind of reaction to, and I don't get reactions to things like that. I'm not someone who reacts like that to those types of things. I spoke to someone who had visited Hiroshima, Nagasaki,
yeah,
and had been very, very unwell, had really bad migraine and really extreme adverse reaction. And so you can pick up on these things and be influenced by these things. It does happen. But it was fascinating to me when I start to explore. I think, why is everyone being shown this? Why are there millions of people visiting that site? Why is it something that we're always being told we should go to and we should see? I don't have the answer to that question, Jeremy. And I'm safe and I'm healthy. And everywhere that I go with Tristan with me and know that. But it's part of a bigger question. Why are we shown these places? Why are we told to go there? Why is it somewhere that is on a bucket list? Somewhere that we feel that important for us to experience? It's just part of a bigger question for me.
it is a huge question, and I mean, it's definitely energy related. I think we're all drawn there for because the energy's in our brains basically, probably in that 90%, probably in that 90% of the brain that we don't understand, but it's probably in that part of the brain, and we don't we can't understand why, but we are drawn to it, and it's fascinating. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. And I went there knowing that it would be an experience that I wanted to have, that I wanted to experience that, and that I want to know more, and that I want to, when I'm ready, sit with Tristan and find out more about what that ancient site is. But my purpose, what gets me up in the morning, what interests me, is teaching people how to channel so they can get their own answers, so that they can explore, go to ancient sites, and they can tune into their guardian angel, knowing that they're always safe, and get information which answers the questions that they have. Picking up a book and knowing whether it's a book that they want to read that is going to have the vibration of truth for them, and also writing a book. I've helped people to verbally channel their guardian angels so they can write a book. They've got an idea, they've got something in their head that they want to write, that they want to make happen, but somehow it never does. And when you verbally channel, you're able to do it with your guardian angel. Get books written, get things done in your life that are important to you. And that's just as powerful a tool for channeling as anything else. What is personally interesting to you? What is personally up your alley, down your street? What it is that excites you, interests you, that you're fascinated by, that you keep coming back to, that you keep thinking about, wondering about? That is what the tool of channeling your guardian angel can help you to get trustworthy answers to. And it's completely personal and unique to the individual.
Yeah, I have a feeling mine would help me figure out the truth behind Bigfoot. But personally, I think it would. But well, we are getting close to the end here. But before we do, I wanted to give you a chance to talk about the amazing work you do for women. That's what I want to give you a moment to kind of shine on that and
Oh,
That
great.
way, the females, my audience, can learn where they can another place they can get help if need be.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you. So I really love working with women in midlife. I am a woman in midlife. I'm 50. And so I really love working with women. I teach people how to verbally channel their guardian angels so they can get trustworthy guidance to all of their life's questions. And unlike a lot of other mentors that, I've experienced myself and my clients tell me, that they've experienced. I won't leave you on your own. I won't leave you to stuck in the learning phase or trying to work things out by yourself. I'll teach you how to verbally channel your guardian angel so that you can have complete confidence in yourself. And that's work that I get up and I love to do every single day.
Well, that is a glorious work right there, and that really needs to be stuff like that is why I do this podcast, so more people can learn about it and more people can take advantage of it because there are people out there who need some kind of assistance mentally, emotionally, spiritually, take your pick. But there are people out there who need some type of help in every way. We all do. Don't be ashamed of it, folks. And trust me, don't be ashamed of it. But it's lovely, and glad I got a chance to spread that out for you a little bit, and hopefully, get some people looking for you. And I wanted to ask though, have you been to any other countries besides South America just yet for this ancient sites trip, or?
Not yet, but we will be going further afield. There's so much here. Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
South America's a powerhouse for ancient sites, but
but also so is so are parts of Asia, which I'm very interested in. So we will explore further. I just feel so at home in South America, Central America, Latin America. It feels like the place for us to be. But the other thing is that I would love to visit other parts of the world. And also, when I have time, which I will find time, to sit with Tristan and channel information about other ancient sites that I may not actually go visit, but that I can visit with him energetically. So that's also another path that I can follow.
I mean, I can't wait to hear what you find out when you go to Egypt. I can't wait. Like, that's going to be interesting, I'm sure.
I'm psyching myself up for that, Jeremy, if I'm honest. I'm psyching myself up for it.
I would be too. It's freaking Egypt. I am a huge Egyptologist when it comes to history, and I freaking there's so much there. There's so much history there. It's just so many sites. I mean, you could probably stay there for years and still not see everything. But
Yeah, yeah,
well,
there really is. And getting to the light being, that's what I'm most interested in. The time when we were all connected to the light being, the time when we were all connected, the time when we were all civilizations and communicating, and when we were community, a world, a globe community. That's what I really want to help people to get back to. Not the division, not the separation, not the differences. Tristan talks a lot about connection and community, because community, your community, the people that are around you, the people that you live with and around, they really are the people that you need to start making relationships with, because they are going to be your support network, and they can be now and they will be going forward. So community connection, and remembering that light being, glory, halcyon day, when we were all connected by the light being, and what a glorious time that was, and how that can come back again.
exactly. And that right there. That's that's the message to end this on. I think actually, and but I want to thank you for coming on today. It's been a pleasure talking to you. I've learned so much, and I fully enjoyed your life. Your life is interesting as can be. So it's fully blessed to hear about it. Where can people find you if they want to find your work or follow you guys about while you're traveling? Where can people find you?
Yeah, great. So, following us, if you go to my Facebook page, Ros Place, my personal page, you'll see little bits and bobs that I put up there. So it's Ros Place, ROS Place, PLACE on Facebook. Also, if you want to see what guardian angels look like, Angels with Ros is my website. And you might like to learn a bit more about what those numbers are trying to tell you that you keep seeing. If you do, then I've created a guardian angel number guide, which will give you that information, but also help you to know what to do with that information that your guardian angel's given you. So that's just a free download that I've created for people as well.
All right. All right, folks. Well, that right there is. There we go. Yeah, my head wanted to die me the last second there, of course. But, folks, you all know where you can find me. If you don't know by now, just shame. I'm sick of saying it, but shame. But, listeners, check the outro. Watchers, it's been scrolling across the screen the whole time. Come on. I'm barely half awake and I still can read. So, there you go. But, thank you, Ross, for coming on. It's been an amazing freaking show. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I will see you all this week. I got a bunch more interviews for you this week and next week before I go on hiatus. So it's not over just yet. Come back next time. Have a good weekend, everybody.